Hi, I'm Rami the Human, not the raccoon, and if you read the video title, you'll know I'm going to talk about my LGBTQIA+ journey, mostly how I found my labels and my experience with them. I'm going to give credit to Squishable Moon for inspiring me to make this video. I watched their video about their LGBTQIA+ journey and decided that I could do my own version, especially since I like to explain my labels and how I figured it out. Now, let's get into it. I went through 3 labels before realizing I'm agender trans masc. I didn't question my gender until a few years ago when I was around 15 or so. I honestly don't remember how old I was, I just remember it being in 2020 or at least around 2020. I know this because that's the year I discovered Sanitize, which is a YouTube series I was very obsessed with for a very long time, and still am. I remember realizing that Joan, a friend of Thomas, uses they them pronouns and going, "Wait, you can do that?" and started to question my gender. At first I thought I was non-binary, but that didn't quite fit, as there was more to it. Next I thought I was demi-non-binary, which I didn't know was an actual thing, and that I was the first to create, especially since demi-non-binaries are barely talked about when talking about demi-genders. Then I thought I was bi-gender, which is where you identify as 2 genders at once, but that didn't quite fit either. It wasn't until I asked for help with my gender that I finally realized I didn't identify as a man, though I do prefer to be referred as one, and that I didn't have a gender at all, so therefore, agender and trans masc. I don't know which was harder to figure out, especially since I have a terrible memory and the memories I do have are very vague, but I feel like my sexuality was harder, mainly because I'm also aro-ace, so it's kind of hard to figure out if you're attracted to anyone if you don't know what it feels like. The reason I started questioning my sexuality is actually kind of silly. I was watching one of those videos that are like, if this is your favorite character, then this is what you're like, before I ever checked the last surrender. And for Katara, they said you were bisexual, which made me think, yeah, that checks out. But that didn't really fit, so then I thought I was omni, which basically means that you're attracted to all genders, like Pam, but you have a preference. So that didn't fit either. It wasn't until recently that I realized I only like men and people who are non-women. I don't fully remember what made me question if I was aro-ace, but I think it was Jaden's video talking about how she's aro-ace. I knew immediately which kind of aro-ace I was, which is cupid, romantic, and apothesexual. Cupid romantic means I don't feel a romantic attraction, but I still crave a romantic partner. And apothesexual basically means that I'm repulsed by sexual things. My experience with the LGBTQIA+ community has been a good one so far. I don't know many queers in real life, but the ones I do know online have been very nice and accepting. I know there are a lot of queers who judge others for not fitting into their idea of queer, but thankfully I have only seen videos talking about them and haven't interacted with any like those. I would like to shout out my 2 favorite queer servers on Discord for being both a helpful role in my journey and a safe space to be who I am without judgment. I'd like to specifically give thanks to the Queer Rock server for having the most supportive people I've ever met. I don't think I'd be here today if I didn't join the server. And I'd like to give thanks to the Alphabet Mafia server, previously known as the Alphabet Mafia server, for being very helpful in my self-discovery journey, and for being the reason I have Discord in the first place. I'd also like to thank both of them for just existing, because if they didn't, I think I'd be a completely different person today. I don't know where I'd be in life if I didn't join those servers, and I would rather not think about it. Though my experience with allies is different, especially in real life, mainly because the people who do support me in real life don't use my preferred name and pronouns, which are they, ze, him, by the way. I understand why they don't, but I wish they would, especially my mother. But I am thankful to the people who do use my preferred name and pronouns, and also the people who have helped fight every day for my and other people's rights to exist. Y'all are the best. I've been to a pride parade once during the time of writing this, though hopefully this year will be my 2nd time. I had a fun time waving flags and cheering everyone on in the parade. I cosplayed as Patton from Sanitize at the parade last year, and hopefully this year I'll be able to cosplay as Logan. So if you see someone cosplaying Logan at a pride parade, come say hi. It might be me. I think the LGBTQIA+ community, though not perfect, has been one of the best communities I could ever be a part of. I hope everyone has a great Pride Month, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye-bye!